Welcome to the Anime Podcast channel. My name is Benji, and today we have a very special video for you guys today. I'm going to be discussing my 5 predictions for the next arc of One Piece, and that arc, I believe, is going to be the arc of Elbaf, or the Elbaf arc. One of those two. Yeah. Anyways, now whether or not we get a arc in between Wano and Elbaf, who knows? But in order to connect a multitude of things, Elbaf is a must-see place in order for the Straw Hats to truly complete their journey within One Piece. It has been reiterated multiple times throughout the series with Usopp's predictions to the backstory of what happened with Big Mom and her involvement, or as of right now, not so much of an involvement within Elbaf itself. But with that being said, here are my 5 predictions for what will happen within the Elbaf arc. Number 1, Elbaf will have one of the biggest battles in One Piece yet. It'll kind of be like how Impel Down was for Marineford. Basically the jump off, or the tipping point that leads into the final battle of One Piece. Now the reason I say this is all the stars are aligning. Recently, actually, in one of the interviews that we got for Jump Festa with Oda, he actually mentioned that Shanks will be making an appearance very soon at the end of Wano, or at least within the year, not necessarily Wano. Now with the appearance of Shank also comes the appearance of a particular villain that we haven't really heard too much of after post time skip, Blackbeard. I believe that Shanks and Blackbeard will have an all-out brawl. 2 of the strongest pirates, nonetheless, with Yonko within the One Piece verse. This awaited battle has to set the stage for the final battle leading into the final arc of One Piece. Number 2, Blackbeard will receive his 3rd Devil Fruit in Elbaf. Now, I know what you may be thinking, Benji. First of all, how? And that's way too OP. Well, let me tell you something. Well, it's actually a common discussion within the One Piece community that Blackbeard will be in the pursuit of his 3rd Devil Fruit, simply for the fact that Blackbeard isn't necessarily just one person. Hear me out. Blackbeard currently has the strongest Paramecia, the strongest Logia. Wouldn't it make sense if he was in pursuit of the strongest Zone Fruit? Oh, that's where this kind of discussion comes into play. What if Elbaf is the very location in which this Zone Fruit may lay dormant within the land? And you know, if you guys remember, I mean, it's been speculated for almost, you know, a bunch of years that Shanks is in charge of the territory within Elbaf. And what if the location of this Zone Fruit is actually in the same place that Shanks is in charge of as far as his territory as a Yonko? That would, you know, play into the conflict between Blackbeard and Shanks itself. Now, as far as this being his 3rd Devil Fruit, Blackbeard throughout the story has always been hinted at that he's not just one person. Blackbeard and his mysterious ability to be the only individual in One Piece who wields 2 Devil Fruit. It would make sense, especially with these hints that Blackbeard has 3 guns, he has 3 skulls on his Jolly Roger, and recently he has 3 weak ass, you know, chin straps. I don't know what the fuck they are, but you know, there's that. His 3rd Devil Fruit must lay dormant in the land of Elbaf, the land of the giants. Now, what fruit could this be? Now, you know, I did some half-ass research within Norse and, you know, Viking mythology, simply because Elbaf is, you know, I guess a reference to the land of the gods, or what's the thing in God of War? I can't remember. Oh well. The Zone Fruit that Blackbeard will obtain will be that of the strongest creature within Norse mythology, Fenrir. Now, you know, sorry if I butchered the name, but you know, I'm not, you know, can't really speak Norse. I think that's Norse, right? Monstrous wolf who has the capabilities of shape-shifting and superhuman abilities. And, you know, this would, you know, inherently make Blackbeard even more OP than he already is. But we'll discuss that for another video. So, on to the next one. Number 3, Mihawk will join the red-haired pirates. Wild, I know. But think about it. Oda has done an amazing job in order to set up the events after Revelry. We currently know that something not only has happened to Vivi, but also Sabo. And we know that the Warlord system has been eradicated, and in turn been replaced with the SSG system, which is a mysterious yet powerful unit developed by the famous Vagabond. Now this leads into my prediction. Now, obviously, Mihawk can handle himself accordingly. But after this new development we have about the SSG may seek help and maybe refuge with an old friend, perhaps Shanks. Now, if you guys remember earlier on in the One Piece story, we actually get to realize that both Mihawk and Shanks are friends. Kinda. More so frenemies, but nonetheless friends. But this would also give the red-haired pirates a swordsman. As of right now, we don't really necessarily have a swordsman for the red-haired pirates. And even if we did, you know, I don't think they're on par with Mihawk, if we're going to be honest. Let's keep it a beat. But this actually leads into my number 4 prediction for Elbaf. We will see a training fighting arc for the Straw Hats and new abilities from each Straw Hat gaining some amount of power or knowledge, but more in particular, more so of a spotlight on the monster trio, Sanji, Luffy, and Zoro. Luffy will develop his advanced Conqueror's Haki under the tutelage of Shanks. Zoro will learn his last lesson from Mihawk, and we could possibly see them face off to see who's the best swordsman either then or after they found the One Piece, give or take. But we'll also see it finally confirmed that Mihawk has Conqueror's Haki. As of right now, it isn't confirmed that Mihawk has Conqueror's Haki or not. Pretty sure he does. And Sanji will learn from, I really don't know right now. But I do have my guesses. It's looking like with this new development, Sanji, as I predicted, has awakened his German 66 DNA or his Linnarian DNA, speculative. And that will be the major focus point going forward for Sanji to actually train his body to really, like, you know, be ready for the final battle. If I had to guess, maybe we may see another appearance from Judge. I'm pretty sure Judge is going to make the final battle. Not 100% sure. Ben Beckman could teach Sanji. I don't really know what. I don't even know what Ben Beckman has in his bag. But then there's also Lucky Root. Now, we don't necessarily know much about Lucky Root, but we do speculate that he may be the fastest individual in One Piece. Now, if that's the case, then Speed, you know, teaching Speed, I mean, you got yourself a pretty dope teacher right there. But we don't necessarily know that as of right now. But nevertheless, the Straw Hat crew must become stronger because yes, they have been doing very well in Wano. But what is to come for the final battle, they must be at their strongest for the rest of the journey ahead. Or else failure is among them. Now, whether or not we'll see a time skip, I don't necessarily know. But you know, I wouldn't be mad at it. I feel like at some point you do need a little bit of breathing room or teaching room for the individuals who are going to take place in the final battle. Now this leads me to number 5 of my predictions. A specific death will take place in One Piece. Now death in One Piece is usually kind of rare, especially when it comes to main characters in One Piece. Yet this arc will set the tone for the climax of One Piece. Now what does that mean for this point in the story? We must have something that breaks fans right before the eventual climax of the story within the war. Oda has hinted at a major death that is to come to fruition later on in the One Piece story. Now, what would be a better driving force to have the biggest war of One Piece than to have a death to kick it off? As morbid as that may sound. Well, here are my 3 predictions of what I think will happen. Now, I have 3 characters that I think may meet their eventual demise, but knock on wood, because, you know, God forbid any of these characters die, because I love them all to death. Including my first one, who is Shanks. What better way to send the world into chaos than to kill off the hidden centerpiece that connects all of the One Piece storyline together seemingly? It has been speculated by myself that Shanks is both a D-Clan member as well as a Celestial Dragon. And there's a lot of points to kind of back this up. From his casual meeting to the Gorosei to his timeline that kind of interacts with the God Valley incident and the Rocks Pirate, it leads more and more to Shanks being in this middle ground between royalty and infamy, the Will of D and Celestial Dragons. You like those bars, don't you? That shit went crazy. Anyways, Celestial Dragons are the God's chosen ones. The Will of D clan members are the opposition of the God. Now, I want you to picture something real quick. Think Shanks is on his deathbed after a battle between Blackbeard. He's accompanied by Luffy by his side. At that moment in time, Shanks finally acknowledges that Luffy can give him back the Straw Hat. because he can finally say that Luffy is a true and meaningful pirate within the world. I know. That shit would make me cry. No, but seriously, like having that be a tipping point for the eventual war that is to come on, that would be a crazy sight to see within One Piece. Anyways, moving on to number 2. Please don't get mad at me. But Zoro. No, wait. You don't have to boo me. You don't have to. Okay, relax. Yeah. Hear me out. What better way to have the One Piece community in an uproar than to killing the first commander of One Piece? Alright, the Straw Hats. Zoro, even in Wano, has considerably been on death's door more often than not, and Zoro taking a hit or a blow in order to save his captain doesn't seem too far-fetched within the One Piece storyline. So this would happen after Zoro were to be the eventual best swordsman within all of the seas, obviously. But I'll say in no other way possible, this death would hurt the One Piece community to its core. And knock on wood again, because I really don't want that to happen. And last but not least, Usopp. Now, Usopp throughout the whole One Piece story has considerably been able to make his falsities truths in any fantastical way that they are. But Usopp dying in this arc will be a massive blow to all One Piece fans. The joyful liar from Syrup Village, being able to turn into a god. God Usopp. And Usopp has made such a stride within the story as of this point. Elbaf is going to be Usopp's arc. We know this. It's been hinted at multiple times. But the thing about it is, how is it going to transcend, or how is it going to play out? This is how things are going to play out. Usopp has made a lot of strides to become the character he is today. But so far, if you have noticed, the predictions and lies that Usopp has told have seemingly been true. Like, even looking at this panel, it points more and more to Usopp dying, unfortunately. Now, it would be sad, but just imagine if it happened like this. Usopp, since we know that he has advanced observational haki that we saw back in Dressrosa, what if somehow, some way, he was able to use Future Sight? And within the Future Sight, he was able to actually see his own death. And, throughout the One Piece story, we've always seen Usopp run away from danger, or run away from this, that, and the third. So what if in this, this instance, where he knows that the only way for, Luffy to accomplish his goals, or his friends to actually live, he must, foresee his death and must go into it courageously, just like he predicted way back in the One Piece story. I would cry. I really would. But if you guys already know, like any one of these deaths would be a huge detriment to the One Piece story. We would all be in shambles, and Oda would laughingly be happy about it, because he knows that he likes to hurt us. Just kidding, I love you, Oda. You're a goat. But those are my 5 predictions for the Elbaf arc of One Piece. I want to know what you guys think. I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I also know that I'm going to get a lot of likes, comments, and shares on this video, because I worked a long time on it, and I really would like to support. But anyways, thank you so much for following and watching the Geek Giant podcast videos. We're gonna be having a lot more podcast episodes very soon. Thank you so much for all the love and the support. Stay tuned. Going to be doing some more live streams very soon, and other chapter discussions, of course, that I come out weekly with. But that being said, thank you so much. I love you guys, and peace.